Hello, my students and scientists. I'm your fantastic host, Duncan Hoover, and today we're taking a look at the Haslab Deathzaurus, or as I'm going to be calling him for this video, Deathzaurus. And here he is. Now, for those of you who are very much unaware of who Deathzaurus is a character that originated from the Japanese original show, Transformers Victory, in which he was the Decepticon Emperor of Destruction, and was the antagonist for the series. Now, we are going to get into Deathzaurus later, because first of all, we're going to take a look at some of the mini-bots he got. Now, for those of you who do not know what a Haslab is, Haslab is the Hasbro Haslab stuff. It's essentially a way for you to vote to see what characters you want. And two of the extra figures you got on this were these two little micro robots here, whose names I've forgotten, I'll add in. But this fella here, who I'm going to just call Ambulance, or Ambulon, and a boat we're going to call Greg. And he would like you to respect his life choices. And as you can see, they're basically minicons. Getting close here on that very lovely painted sculpture. I'm loving the reds and the whites and the blues on both of them. They have some very, very lovely things. Articulation-wise on both of them, just can do a full 360 because they're a ball joint. Nothing at the heads. Nothing at the waist, because again, they're small. Legs can go forward that far. They can go back that far. They can come out if you move the arms out of the way. About that far, because you get a bend at the knee, and that's about it. You also get a swivel at the knee. But this guy's a bit different, because he only bends at the knee, and can do almost all the same. So to transform Greg here, we'll just tab his feet together. Come to the back here and fold out these little white heels that he's using to stand on. Come to the back, fold up the boot half. Then you're going to push up and bring his arms up like he's doing a shrug. Then you're going to fold his legs on the ball joints, like so. Get it all nice and squozen and click together. And here he is in boat form. And it's actually a very lovely little boat form. Not bad. And of course, yes, there he is. All hanging out there. As for Ambulon, his transformation is almost the same. Bring up his arms like you're doing a shrug, and then they're going to tab into his, get my thumb out of the way, waist there. There's a hole in there. That's going to tab on there. You're going to get that nice and done and up. You're going to fold in his feet, and then you're going to bring the front half down, and then tab his feet together. And get that tapped in. And here he is in his little ambulance mode. And it's a little ambulance. It's a little adorable little ambulance. And it does roll. Because it's got these wheels. And of course, there he is. So these were some of the two accessories of many he has, Mr. Deathzaurus here has. That throne and stand are two of them. And we're going to get this out of the way. And just move this over here. This throne is simply amazing. For those of you who do not know this, I think is the second throne they've done, or third throne now, because they're doing one with a 3-pack that's got Megatron, Soundwave, and Shockwave, and then they did one with the Studio Series 86 Starscream, and oh lord, it's a glorious bit of burgundy, or I'd like to call this a bit of a wine, and the purples in the back, and of course, yes, all of the accessories will fit on here. I just don't want to put them all on here. And if you're wondering why there's a slot here, one thing on Deathzaurus here is he does have a head on the back. And basically what you're doing, he's going to bring his legs forward. And some very lovely joints to bring his arms forwards too. And you're going to line up the slot with the two spikes on the back of Deathzaurus' head. You're basically going to get him all nice and squozen in there, and he will sit like Santa at the mall. Except he's not going to give you Christmas, he's going to give you death. But here's other accessories, and let's get into those. This is useful for his kaiju form, so I'm going to put this off to the side here. But, getting Mr. Deathzaurus here done. The next bit of accessories he does get, and they do transform, is one thing that he's most well known for. You see, in Japan, Deathzaurus here was known as the leader of the Decepticon Breast Force. Yes, you heard me say that correctly. He's the leader of Leo Kaiser and all of that. And his two were Eagle Breast, or what I'm just going to call Eagle Chested, who was this lovely red and black and blue bird. And he's got 2 holes, by the way, he can attach on top of the frame, which I'll show you. There's 2 points up here, and you get the feet done well, and you can get the things in there, and he sits up there like, caw, on top of the Decepticon throne. And that's not all Mr. Eagle Chest can do, and I'm going to be calling him Eagle Chest because, yeah, I feel a bit more comfortable that way. Just bring this back because I'm not. Yeah, articulation-wise, due to transformation, his head, he can move his wings back and forth, and there's a ball joint on his legs and a little hinge on his feeties. But this guy has a secret. You can pop out 2 pistols, fold in his head, fold up his feet, like so. Keep up the tail, fold in the edge of the things here, the wings. Well, I try to remember how to do this, because there's been a hot minute since I've actually transformed Mr. Eurus, and now he's a gun. And he can be held by Deathzaurus. He's got there's a slot in his hand. That's going to allow you to basically slot on either hand. And you're basically going to get the tabs for Mr. Eagle in the back there. And now Deathzaurus can go pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang. Which is pretty cool, but one other thing is Mr. Eagle Chest here can be stored in his chest in robot mode. I know. So what we're going to do, unfold his wings, fold back in his guns, and up his tail, and fold up his tail, and bring that in. And this is a spring-loaded chest. You just basically go, make sure it's oriented the right way, and you push it in like so. And now you've got to cover that up. And that brings us into his next companion, which is this thing. What is this thing? Well, this is one of 2 things. First of all, it's Deathzaurus' chest. And get that in nice and squozen. Get that in there. And there you go. You have him looking like how he did in the cartoon. Now, one thing I do want to point out with this, these chrome gold bits are not tabbed in on these orange shins here. They have a very nasty habit. No, they're in camera, they won't do, but these will tab out of their place. But as you can see, it's a bit squozen. But this chest has something you can do. See, there you go. That's unintentionally how easy it is. You want to bring these up. These are on a hinge here. Like so. And as you can see, I've just done it twice in one video. Get that up there. You want to bring this section up, I think. Because one of the other things that Mr. Deathzaurus gets is this arrow. And you're going to find out why. Hang on a minute. And I get to play. How the hell do I do this? And I did have this nailed down, but my brain's just done a 360. Yep. You want to bring this up. You need to unfold this and bring this out. Bring this down. Make sure I've got everything aligned. What do we need to do? Yeah, but you are able to use this as a bow and arrow, but unfortunately for me, I've kind of forgotten how to do it. I'll add this in, but one thing that the chest can do is, so that, yeah, he comes with an arrow. Put that off to the side there. Is once you've folded up these side hit bits here, you want to come here and you want to get your fingers in, and you're going to pull out these legs back here. Keep the gold arches, not affiliated with a certain restaurant, off to the side. Bring these up. And you're going to fold these back on the hinge here. And then you're going to bring forward the legs. And there you have Tiger Breast. Or Tiger. As I'm going to call him, Tiger Chest in his animal mode. And, yep, this is the other associate for Mr. Deathzaurus here. And it's essentially just the chest that's been just plonked on this poor tiger. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a bit in pain. But we're getting back into chest mode, so I'm gonna pause and get it back into there. And now that we've got him back in chest mode, he didn't really have much articulation, unfortunately. We're just gonna get back onto here, because we're starting to get up to the points of where Mr. Deathzaurus is. So up next, we're going to get a melee weapon. First of all, you get a flail, which is on a chain. And with, like, eagle claw, he can hold it in any one of his hands. Again, because they've got a slot in there. Fold it in there. And now he's equipped his energy flail. And, yeah, you can swing it around. Or you can, if you open up his other hand, have him hold it like he's about to go. Okay. I'm sick and tired of your crap. I'm gonna beat you up. Yep. So we're going to screw that. And like I said, this can be stored in robot mode. And, well, on the chair, if you want to store it in robot mode, yeah, you just store it on one of these ports in the back here. Put the ball in there. He comes with this shield. Now, this shield, he can, if you bring out this handle here, he can hold it in any one of his hands. Like I said, he comes with a lot of accessories. You know, so he can block all the damage. Or, if you don't want him holding his shield, you can... I'm just going to remove that off there. Pop the handle back out. Now the handle wants to find me. Get out. 1 second. So, now that you've got the handle out of his hand, you can come over to here and fold out this joint up here. Now, this will allow you to essentially take this post here. Once you have this back a bit, that on there. That post again, you're going to shove it into this hole here. And now do be careful, that is a very small post. And you can attach that post onto this shoulder here. Get it on correctly. And now he has his shield, which allows him to hold his big old meaty sword. Meaty? Meaty? That's not even a word. Big old beefy sword. Like, this is, just to give you a size comparison, that is almost half of Deathzaurus' length. That is a sword. And like I said before, he can hold it because of these tabs in either hand. I like to give it to this hand. And if you had a flight stand, and if you had it ready, or if you had a, you know, a, Star Saber, you could, the Haslab Star Saber, which is something you can get, you could actually do, equip it in like that. But that is not all. He does come with another very epic weapon. And a weapon that I actually love the name of when I learned of it. So you want to bring this back and you want to straighten out his arm. Because we're bringing in this. You're probably wondering, what the bloomin' heck is this? This folds out into this. Oh. This is the entire length of Deathzaurus. Now, he does have 2 Belush compatible things. I just didn't grab them for this review because I'm a moron. This is the Living Death Cannon. And this can fit into either one of his arms. You just put it into the hole in his hand, because that's how you can. But if you want an even more secure connection, if you bring his arm up, you can... There are 2 slots in his shoulders. I think I can show you on this side. We'll just move the shield off to the side here. I'll break this forward. But as you can see, there are 2 slots up in his shoulder, and there are 2 tabs on this back end of the gun. And he can basically hold the Living Death gun, the Living Metal Destroying gun, which he used famously to kill Jinrai, and he can go pew pew bang bang. And that is basically it for accessories. You do get some other bits for the, for the chair itself, but let's get down to articulation, because this figure has a lovely bit of articulation. Now, before we get onto it, I have to compliment Hasbro on the color scheme of Deathzaurus here. As you have noticed throughout the through the video, even with this shoddy lighting, he has a lovely array of very dark blues. I'd like to say this is almost like a royal blue, light gunmetal blue, reds and blacks, gold and orange, and of course, even on the legs here, some very lovely. So I'm getting close here on the head sculpt. You can see that his eyes, I believe, are purple, which is quite lovely. But keeping an eye on the head sculpt, the head cannot do a full 360. I do not know why. They just stop, so he's looking over his shoulders. His wings can go in and out and can flap, which is good because if you push them back, you can, and not bend the figure. We'll fold up the shoulder bit there. His arms can also go in and out, and if you move, we'll just take off Tiger Chest for a moment here. I'll show you how to get Eagle Chest out in a sec. His arms can do a full 360 if you move the wings out of the way, and as you can hear, very lovely ratcheting joints. You get a swivel at the bicep, a very lovely bend at the elbow, about 90 degrees, and of course you do get a wrist articulation, and some finger articulations, albeit it is molded into one piece. You get an ab crunch. Yep. You get a slight ab crunch, so you can look down like, because I've stepped in an Autobot. You do get a bit of a waist articulation, and if we move the flaps out of the way, legs can go forward that far, and you can hold it too. I'm holding him, and they can go back quite far. They can also go out if you move the arms out of the way. Oh, and these arms can go out, you just have to untap them. Legs can go out that far, he can actually do quite a good spread. Gets up. Very strong, very thick bend at, swivel at the bicep, bend at the knee, you know, and some foot articulation. You know, so you can actually have him like do some poses. Right. Shall we transform him? Or, as they say in Japan, Tenshin! Oh, and he can look up that far and down that far. So before we do it, we're going to get Mr. Eagle Chest out there. So we're going to come to the back here. And as you can see, there's this bit here. And you're going to push on the back there. And it pops out Mr. Eagle Chest. And we'll put him off to the side here. So, to transform him, first of all, you want to come to the heads, to his head. And fold in his little bat ears. Whoop! I will have to cut that. That was an accidental bump of the camera. Then you're going to bring this up, and there are two, as you can see, there are two little tabs either side of the head here, and they're going to tab into there. Once you get that satisfying click, you know you've done it. Next, and what are we going to do? We're going to focus on the upper torso here. So what you're going to do, untab the arms, and you're just going to rotate them at this little joint in here. This is going to basically get the arms oriented nicely for the right way for when you focus on doing the next part. Then you want to just rotate the arms down because this is going to be useful. I'd like to bring the wings up. This means that on this hinge here, you're going to bring it to this tab. It goes into this port here where the arms were. That's going to rotate his kaiju wings out of the way. Next, be careful with these points. I have had them pop off the mushroom pig. You want to basically just bring them down. And then there's a hinge in there. You're going to slide it across. Then bring this arm, bring it out a bit so it gives you clearance. Because these two tabs and this tab are going to fold and collapse here. This is going to just fill in his beast mode chest. Next verse is very much the same, and it's off this point here that they like to pop off because there's essentially it's a mushroom peg, and this just clips on over it. I'll try to get in closer here, but as you can see, and so do be careful. Bring it in, get all nice and screws in together. Then fold the arms into these gaps here till you get a click, and then unfold. Oh, they will like to untap because it just doesn't like to. And then you're done. Next thing, we're going to have a bit of parts forming. What parts? Shh. Hey, Mgo was right. Shut up. You're basically going to come to this and you're going to fold it in. If you want to, just rotate this handle down. And that's going to get all nice and squozen. And look, it's a tail. A tail as old as time. Right, now we're going to focus on the leg. So what you're going to do first is you're going to come here, and you're going to untab from here. Once you've done that, you're going to bring this up, fold it in, and then untab going that way on the hinge. You're going to leave it alone. Second verse, much like the first. Unfold, bring out, fold in, fold up. Now, what you're going to do is a bit of fun. You've got to get these legs augmented just right, because you're going to untab. You're going to basically bring them back. Now, you want to fold the arms up and move them out of the way, because you're going to need this. Because the knees here, these knee pads, you've got to untab and bring forward. This is going to free up the knee. There's a peg in there. And basically, you're going to fold them back. At the same time, you're also going to fold up the feet and angle them. And you basically got to angle this all to where it wants to behave. Because you've got to angle the actual knee joint. Like, there is two separate joints in this knee. And the only reason you can't use them is because this gold knee pad stops that part from moving. And basically, while you're also doing it, you're also going to ab crunch, use the ab crunch. Also move the wings out of the way, something I didn't do. So I'm going to show you what to do. So you're going to bring this down, and you're going to fold on the feet, angle them forward. You're just going to fill out the body here. Once you've got all of that nicely done, what I like to do is bring in the tail here. Now, there are two holes here that you're going to angle this and get it in nice and squoze. And as you can see, this one hasn't gone fully in. This one has, though. So you can bring up this part, unfold this part, which means this part. This knee here has not been nice. Oh, angle that forward just a little bit more. See if we can't get that out. Move this down. Bring that in. Come on, get into the hole. Okay, now they're both in. You're going to bring up the knee pads, and then you're going to fold these in. So, now you have this entity. You're going to fold the arms back, and then these two posts are going to go into a tab that's going to reveal itself up there. Now, we're going to work on the legs. So first of all, collapse them. Then you're going to unfold this tab here. There are two little tabs that are going to help you to bring that forward. And you're going to fold the hand in, and at the same time, it's going to bring down a foot. Fold this back in, and then spread out his toes. Second verse, much like the first, you get nice and squozen. Down. Into the hole. Let's just bring that down. Collapse. Unfold. Bring it in. Bring the... This is where it fights me, because it's like, ugh, you're on camera. Bring that in, and close it down. Get him standing. Nice and proud. Fold the wings down. Get his arms together. And angle that head down. And there we have Deathzaurus in what I'm going to be referring to as his Rodan form. And it's impressive. Like, bringing out my little review table. It is just impressively well done. Now, getting close here on the head sculpt, as you can see, it's done in a lovely white plastic. Complete with gold and red and black. Yep. The alt mode seems to just get a little bit more white and a little bit more silver and a lot more blue. Getting close here. As you can see, it comes into the tail. And that's so articulation-wise, we do have some articulation we need to go through. Because whilst he does retain some of the old articulation, he does get some new one. His head can go up quite far, so you can get a flight. And his head can go down quite far. You just have to move this neck out of the way. Bring it back up. You can open his jaw. And if you have the parts, you can go pew pew bang bang out of his jaw. There's smaller arms. Of course, the wings keep the articulation it does. Small arms can do a full rotation. In and out. Bend. Get a bit of a swivel. Do be careful that this does light to one tab. But that's about it. Nothing at the waist, because these stop it. His arms can go forward and backwards. You do get the elbow bend. You also get this little bend here, and you do get a swivel here, and of course you do get a little bit of toe articulation. And you don't get really anything at the tail. That is just a solid bit of plastic. But that's not all. One of the accessories I put aside, this one, is a flight stand. Yeah. Where it tabs in, I have no freaking clue. But, yeah, you can put a flight stand on them, and one thing I will show off is you can take off the throne here. So, able to get off. It just tabs into these 4 holes with the 4 posts on the bottom there. And you could also, of course, slide that in. And there you go. You've got a slide like that, or you can slide like this, and you can put Deathzaurus on there and have him fly. So we're going to get back into his robot mode, and to get him posed, and I'll give you my final verdict on this character. So there you have it, Haslab Deathzaurus. He comes with a metric ton of accessories, a very fantastically well done robot mode that isn't hindered by much, some pretty good articulation overall, and a lot of just an impressive appearance. However, I do want to address some stuff. As I mentioned before, you can put everything on that Deathzaurus comes with on his throne, but it is a pain in the butt, and the instructions don't tell you. Or if they do, I haven't been able to find it. Not only that, but Deathzaurus really does have one thing going against him, and that's that price point. I normally don't complain about pricing, because here in New Zealand it is ridiculous. But this dude, I had to pay just over $400. Basically paid $400 for. Considering that he was over $400. Yeah. A standard Transformer Deluxe here in New Zealand is $35 here. No, it's $40 here. Voyagers are $60, and leader classes go between $90 and $100. In fact, just to be honest, the only reason I was able to get Starscream and Galvatron for a previous review is because I had they were on clearance. Same with Legacy Metroplex. Fun fact, Titan classes are well over $400, $500 here. So Deathzaurus here, and one thing I want to mention with the new Omega Prime, they are just far too bloody expensive. Omega Prime is $700 NZ. And I'd like to be able to get him, because I'd like to do a review between him and between the original Omega Prime, which I do have, and that one. But getting back to the point here, a lot of the accessories are just neat. I mean, he comes with two Autobot Transformers. Couldn't he have come with 2 Decepticon ones? I mean, you're not really complaining. You get 4 figures. You get a total of 5 figures. You get Deathzaurus. You get Ambulance and Greg the boat. You get Eagle, and you get Tiger, all of whom can transform. And Eagle and Tiger are triple changes. You get his sword, his flail, his living death cannon. You get an arrow for when you can turn Tiger into his chest mode. You get a throne, you get a flight stand, you get a shield, and that's a lot of stuff. But I don't think the price point is worth it, and that's the thing though. I don't agree with the price point, because as I mentioned before, he's not cheap. Here in New Zealand, he is very, very expensive. Oh, but you've got to put into all. Yes, I understand. You are paying for a lot, but you could have added more. What? I don't know. You could have had, like, references to the Decepticon things. Like, you could have had specific things that could have been for the Combiner War or the remaster you did of Leo Kaiser. Because I know they did that a while back. But that's just that. And I think it was Combiner War I'm thinking about. Yeah. Essentially, I'm just griping here. If you want to pick up this figure, I really do recommend it, but be careful of the price point. He is expensive. He comes with a lot of accessories, and that box, which I did not bring out for this review, you are going to have to set up and review it. But that is Haslab Deathzaurus, or Deathzaurus if you were in Japan. Done by Hasbro. A beefy figure, fit of the right of Emperor of Destruction, and something that I am quite glad to have. Now remember, I thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Be happy with yourselves, and remember, you're loved. There's no good at saying German Spirit. I'll catch you next time. Bye!